Big money wasted. Sir, do you know where your blinker is? You read the title, you already know what we're talking about. Beamer boys, rest in peace, little people. BMW was founded over 100 years ago, so they must be perfect after spending so much time making these cars, right? Wrong! Expensive cars, expensive maintenance, and expensive taste sprinkled with electrical gremlins is enough to make you sweat. However, Beamers have so much history, so much heritage, ranging from motorsports to even motorcycles, saying you drive a BMW itself is a flex. And their motto even is the ultimate driving machine. They have legendary cars such as the iconic E30 M3, the car that Lamborghini was supposed to help with, and then BMW said, we got this, the M1, and so many more. You see them at every car show, you see them at track days, so why do BMWs get so much hate? Did you know we will mount, balance, and ship your wheels and tires for free? I know the struggle of getting your wheels and tires finally, and then the pain of having to bring them to a tire shop that either isn't willing to add a little bit of stretch to them or is booked out for 2 weeks. F that. We make it easy. All the wheels, tires, and suspension you could ever want over at fitmentindustries.com. So, before we dive into why some of the car scene gives backlash on these German automobiles, let's learn a little bit about where they came from. Bayerisch Morderen Work. I butchered that, but you know what? We had a German exchange student and we tried having him pronounce Wisconsin cities like these. And he couldn't do it either, and we laughed, okay? It's not just me that sucks at pronouncing things. By the way, it's pronounced Economwalk, all right? You got it now? Bet you didn't plan on learning that today. Anyway, founded back in 1916, which is the same time Piggly Wiggly was also founded. This is also, it doesn't relate at all, but the grocery store name of Piggly Wiggly is pretty dope. Did you know in China they call BMWs Bao Ma, which literally translates to English as precious horse? So for the rest of the video, I will not be saying BMW and I will be saying precious horse. I will also be saying this anytime I see a BMW from now on. Look at that precious horse, it's slam! I can't stay on track, I'm so sorry. If you're still here, thank you. You the GOAT. You the precious goat. The precious horse didn't start off with the cars we all know and love today. Hell, it wasn't even motorcycles. The first vehicle was a straight six airplane. Yes, airplanes. That's why a lot of people think the blue and white BMW logo is a propeller after their start with aviation. That's pretty fly, get it? Because plane, air, but that's not what the precious horse logo means. It's white and blue to show its respect for where it was founded in Bavaria, Germany. BMW did create a few ads where their logo was shown in airplanes' propellers, which would cause some confusion. This is exactly why BMWs get hate. That's it, that's why. It's a propeller or not, what is it? Why are they with us? Why are you? Okay, all right. So that's not really why the precious horse gets hate, all right? Well, maybe some of it. Anyways, fast forward past the war, past the inline six airplanes in Bavaria, and we're in 1952 in Munich. They would start producing cars again, but it didn't exactly go great. Precious horse would have to compete with the Mercedes Benz 300 SL and the Mercedes Benz 190 SL, big shoes to fill. They would release the BMW 501, 502, 503, 507, and they were insane, blowing Mercedes out of the water. BMW be like Mercedes nuts. Well, at least that's what Precious Horse was hoping was going to happen. It didn't. 1959 comes around and Precious Horse is like the Monopoly game where all your friends land on property spaces and you just keep landing on community chest, chance, and free parking over and over. BMW is bleeding. They have no money, they're losing money, and they're in debt. Sounds like me when I got my Volkswagen. But wait, the story's not over. After Precious Horse tried to merger with Mercedes nuts and was rejected, they kept fighting. Project New Class would drop like a hot album and save this horse from the farmer shooting it. It would be a new line of cars featuring front disc brakes and four-wheel independent suspension and the Hofmeister kink. Excuse me, chubby beard guy, what in the did you just say to me? The Hofmeister kink, baby. I had no idea this actually had a name, but it's the C-pillar notch, you know, on the back of the window, on the rear of the car. We're just learning a bunch of little fun facts, aren't we? So with these new stylings and front disc brakes, Precious Horse was able to dig its way out of the hole it was buried in and start to get some momentum. In following years, we would see things like the BMW M30 engine in 1968, which would be produced for 24 years. God damn! In 1978, we would see the legendary M Division. That's not all. They would keep on trucking and release the 8 Series dabbling in V8s. They would go on and buy other brands like Rover and Mini, and then would be seen having their engines in the McLaren F1 and Rolls-Royce Phantom. See, they've been shoving engines and other stuff for years. You can stop picking on the Supra now, okay? So all of this is fantastic, but where does the hate come in? All right, enough about the dirty past. Nowadays, there's a certain prestige feeling when owning a precious horse. These cars are expensive from the factory and have a luxury stamped all over it. I think this bled into some of the owners' minds, and whether they're in a BMW M3 or a 1983 318i, the driver stigmas are out there. The cutting you off in traffic, the no blinker usage, we have all heard of it. These people in these precious horses feel like they're better than everyone else. That's a good quote. Someone put that in their yearbook, please. Somehow over the years, the owners, I feel, have caught more of the flack than the cars themselves. They're like the people that take up 4 spots in front of Walmart so they don't get door dinged. The ones that wear driving gloves on their trip to Dairy Queen on Sunday. The ones that slam it on its nuts and take it to the drag strip to do a 17-second pass. Oh, that last one was us. We did that. To put you in the mindset of how prestigious BMW is and makes you feel, they have a dedicated webpage on their site to teach you the real pronunciation of BMW and how it should sound in every single language.
BMW.
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 Precious horse. It's 3 goddamn letters. Why are you helping me pronounce this? But okay, listen here, precious horse owners. It's okay, don't be mad, it's not just you. The cars have had their fair share of quirks. Earlier models were plagued by electrical gremlins. I don't know about you, but I hate those problems more than anything. When your power windows randomly decide to stop working, it's just annoying as hell. Not only that, but maintenance is important on these precious horses. Okay, so any horse, but any car needs maintenance, but with these high-end German cars, you gotta be on your Oil changes on time. No, it won't be okay for another 10K, change it. Over here in the US, parts are generally more expensive for anything imported, so BMWs seem to fit the boot there as well. Overall, I'm going to give Precious Horse a 5 on the hate scale. The owners being stereotyped as jerks is funny and always will be, paired with its electrical issues and high maintenance, keeps the hate scale up, while its unforgettable cars and history brings it back down. Phenomenal cars that have timeless designs and can also get down and rowdy as hell. But what do you think? Would you own a precious horse? Comment down below, I'm going to read every single one. The amount of issues we've had with the E30 is outstanding though. It's a running joke here that it literally breaks itself sitting in one spot. Doesn't mean I don't love it though. Something about driving that damn car in a 17-second pass without a working RPM tach.